Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are for part 3 of this epic series, where this time, not only are we going to be checking out the brand new update, which is going to be releasing, if I'm not mistaken, in around 2 hours from now, update 14 part 3. Oh yeah, by the way, this is a complete coincidence, part 3 of the series, part 3 of the update. Yeah, literally just a coincidence. But yeah, not only that, just like I promised in the last video, we are going to be maxing out the game. Now, of course, if you guys think we're going to be successful, being able to do this without sacrificing another day or two of my lifespan, then yeah, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button with notifications on, and also feel free to join my Discord server. It's going to be linked in the description. But yeah, apart from that though, let's go ahead and let's jump right into this. Pause. Hey everybody, Editor SMG here, just quickly cutting in to let you know that today's video is actually sponsored. Now, what exactly is this sponsor about? It's actually very simple, and it answers one of the main questions that probably a lot of you guys have. Does your avatar looks chopped like this? Now don't worry, if the answer to that question was yes, does your character look very chopped, Void Apparel is going to be helping you out. Now, as you guys can see, it is actually a high quality anime clothing brand on Roblox, and it does feature a lot of characters, specifically right now from JJK, but since JJK has a new season releasing, probably you guys are going to be demanding for stuff like this in the very near future. But yeah, back to the clothing though, a lot of your favorite JJK characters are here. For example, Kashimo, Higuruma, and even some new faces from Gege Akutami, the creator of JJK's brand new manga, Maru, and as well Tsurugi Akotsu. But yeah, as you guys can see, for the low price of 10 Robux, you can go ahead and get yourself full sets of these clothings, whether it's going to be Kashimo, Higuruma, or maybe Toji, or something else that maybe interests you here. So if you guys have any extra Robux you want to spend, want to dress up for the upcoming JJK release, then yeah, I will have the link up on screen, linked in the description, or as well in the comments. But anyways, enough of all of that though, back to the video. Alright, so first things first, what do I want to max out first? Like, I'm gonna be honest, from what I've been told, there isn't a lot that I can do before, I will be maxed out. Like, for example, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of the things that I can max out, for example, pets and powers and whatnot, those are going to be relatively simple to do, and probably the hardest thing is going to be maxing out the jewelry. So yeah, do kind of expect a lot of leaf raids and all of the raids that are going to be dropping the special boxes, bronze parts boxes, silver parts boxes, golden boxes. You get the idea. Now, just until the leaf raid, does go ahead and open on up, we might as well go ahead and do something that we haven't done once in this singular series, and that is going to be doing a little bit of an actual proper hatching time lapse. Now, what exactly am I going to be hatching? Well, I am going to be hatching these bad boys, Hero of Hell, Supremes, each of them going to be giving me 392 million energy. Now, the reason that this is probably going to be a pretty long time lapse is because I don't have the normal equips, as you guys know. I have 43 equips. Yeah, this is probably going to take a long time, so let's go ahead and let's start, I guess, hatching. Now, in this case, 115 quintillion per spin. I have 89.7 septillion coins, meaning that I should be able to open up this egg for quite a long time, or at least, I hope so. So let's go ahead, let's, I guess, quickly start the auto hatch, and let's leave this running for, I don't know, I guess either until I disconnect or maybe 30-40 minutes pass. I don't know. Let's start the auto hatching, and I guess I will catch you guys once either my PC dies on me or something crazy happens. Let's find out. And okay everybody, after a really long time of hatching later, as you guys can see, we managed to get a lot of Supremes. In fact, I believe we have a full team of them. let's have a look. Yes, and we even have some extra. Now, we did finish quite early, like probably like 40 minutes before the update. In fact, it's literally just about to release. So what that means is that this next part of the video is literally going to be checking out the update. Now, just before we get into that though, whilst I was waiting for the update, I did go ahead and I started doing a little bit of, you know, dungeons and stuff. For example, as you guys can see, I have started saving up a lot of the gold part boxes, or, you know, just the jewelry parts boxes, to the point where I might be able to go ahead and do a really like ton of exchanging and stuff. Like, to be honest, I think the hardest part of this grind is probably going to be getting, you know, the crystals, because, you know, they do cost like 10 jewelry coins each. However, since we have like what, 500 boxes, that's going to be 500 coins, meaning that we're going to be able to get like 50 of a singular crystal. Something like that. Plus as well, this was all from like what, 1 or 2 leaf raids, meaning that as the day progresses, you know, there's like 1 leaf raid per hour. I'm going to be able to get a bunch of, you know, the jewelry boxes, and I should be able to start making the max out jewelry slowly. Yeah, even with all of that, it's still probably going to be taking like a day or two, so don't expect me to like max out within like 2 or 3 hours, or at least, you know, jewelry. But anyways, the update is now out, or it should be out. We should be resetting any second, but just before we go ahead and do that, let's quickly see, can I go ahead and get to the end of this dungeon? Okay, no, unfortunately not. But yeah, let's see what is in this update. Okay, hold on a minute. I need to leave immediately because I'm not allowed in public servers. Let's try now. So, update 14, part 3. It's going to be including 1 new accessory, the Pokita slides, which are going to be some form of shoes, and they are going to be found in the D-rank enemy in the very final world. Then over here we have Pokita pet power leveling, meaning the pets that you get from, if I'm not mistaken, the chainsaw defense, you can actually level them up, kind of like how you would level up your Kagane. And in order to get the token drops, it is as well going to be in the chainsaw defense. Then from there, we have an energy stat added to the accessory Shinobi Flops. Oh, okay. So the accessory that you can go ahead and get from, if I'm not mistaken, the Leaf Village, it does actually give you an energy boost now. But obviously, for me, probably the Pokita slides are going to be, you know, much more worth it. So yeah, I guess I'll just go ahead and get these. Oh yeah, by the way, here are a bunch of the new codes. We'll use those in just a moment. Now, to end of the update log, we have auto-deleting Phantom Champions in all of the worlds added, a confirmation prompt for token exchanger when purchasing more than 10 tokens. That's pretty cool. Private server kick menu, meaning you can now kick people from your private server. So if there's someone like bothering you or abusing some kind of like, I don't know, rule or something, you can kick them out, you can get rid of them, and yeah, I guess you private server owners are going to be, you know, really happy. I know, apparently the keys now have a separate shop menu in the exchanger shop. Pretty nice. Now, the changes over here, is there anything worth noting down? Enemies in chainsaw defense now move faster. Chainsaw defense enemies now will attack from one side only. I like that a lot, actually. Then over here at the very bottom, we have all of the new codes. So, update 14, part 3, 410k fav, and you get the idea. In this case, it seems like we have 5 codes over here, and then we have the codes for, I guess, the record-breaking like CCU. Now, I don't think that there is any point at all to be using it on my admin account because, you know, I do already kind of have, like, you know, a lot of potions and yeah. So I might as well just go ahead and quickly showcase them on my main account, you know, the free-to-play account. So let's go on over here. So this is going to be 53k players giving you credits, potions, avatar souls, you get the idea. Then from there, we have 52k players giving you, once again, relatively the same stuff. 51k players, probably, yeah, giving you the same stuff, you know, coins potion, damage potion, any potion. I don't think I'm gonna bother continue talking through all of this. I'll just showcase all of the codes. So here is 415k fav, 410k fav, 190k likes, 185k likes, and then the last code to end it all off, update 14 P3. All of the codes are now claimed. They gave practically all of the same stuff, so you don't need to worry. And oh yeah, one of the only things that is different is the fact that one of them did give like the energy macaroons, you know, like those food items. Yeah, these over here, they did, some of the codes did actually give some of those. But yeah, back on over to the main account. Are we strong enough to get the stuff in the final world? No, not just yet. So we might as well go ahead and probably start AFK grinding the leaf raid, so then, you know, we can get a bunch of the jewelry boxes. For example, let me just showcase how lucky I'm going to get. So this is what my bronze and silver part boxes look like at a wave 11. And here we are around probably like 30 minutes later or 40 minutes of grinding. And we managed to get around 80 or 90 of the bronze parts boxes, and again probably around like 80 or 90 of the silver parts boxes, meaning that we've probably made almost 200 parts boxes in just one leaf raid. Yeah, I wasn't kidding when I told you that this is actually a really good method to grind out bronze parts. Now obviously you do need to consider how far you can even get in the leaf raid, because right now with all of my stat stuff on, I'm only able to reach like wave 1310, and probably the average player that is close to the final world would be around 1200, 1100, because keep in mind, I do have the admin blades, which are ridiculously broken. But yeah, now that this is all done and dusted, let's I guess go ahead on over to the dungeon lobby and let's I guess do a little bit of exchanging. So we should now be able to slowly make ourselves all of the jewelry related stuff that we need in order to go ahead and, you know, max out this area. So let's go ahead and let's craft one of these, one of these, one of these. Okay, we need a bit more of the gold ring parts, but don't worry, we can always go ahead and, you know, exchange for them. Now in the meantime, let's just craft all of those. Now all we need is the gold related stuff, so let's start exchanging for them. And okay, we now have all of the parts, if I'm not mistaken, to make all that we're going to need for at least, you know, the base materials. Let's continue crafting. So can I go ahead and make myself one bronze energy ring? I really hope that I can. And yes, we can. Awesome. Now can I go ahead and make the silver version? Probably not. Yeah, I'm probably missing a bunch of the brew crystals. How many actually do I have? Literally 0. That is crazy. Okay, that means I'm going to be needing around 200 of the exchange tokens, which basically means I probably need to do one whole other leaf raid. Now thankfully it is going to be opening up in 13 minutes, and yeah, once it go ahead and opens up, we'll be able to farm all that out. Alright, so let's now probably head on over and start grinding, I guess, some of the other stuff. For example, what about the fighters? I still need a bunch and a bunch of the colossal titans, so then that way I can get these all done. And then if I'm not mistaken, same thing for the stands. We can continue getting the supremes, and then this will be all maxed out. So let's see, how many tokens do I have? So for the attack on titan, we have 3.38k. Very bad. What about the stands over here? 5. Thankfully, we don't really need to get any stronger at all. All we really need to do is just pop on my Viking aura, and then maybe as well a few drops potions. And then as well, maybe just abuse the fact that I probably have a ridiculous amount of the tokens. Yeah, I have 770k. Let's just go ahead and I guess get ourselves 70k tokens of the Attack on Titan ones. Yeah. So there we go. That is going to be 77,000 of the Titan tokens. Now exchange, and I guess whilst we sit here and just, you know, continue to get a bunch of the stand tokens, let's just start auto rolling, because we do have the game pass in order to auto roll here without basically moving. I guess you lads can go ahead and give me around probably like 1 hour, 2 hours, something like that, just so then by the next time I cut back, we will have more stuff, I guess, worked on, including of course a bunch of the leaf raids. Sometimes I really do wish that drops affected the jewelry related stuff. Whatever, it's fine. Let the grinding begin. Alright, so this is going to be the first thing maxed out of this video. As you guys can see, we now have both Colossal Titans 3-starred with Supreme Injection, which I believe gives it like a 0.5x or 50% damage boost. So let's go ahead and equip them and move on to the next thing. Here is now another thing maxed out. We have now acquired both Supreme Worlds with Supreme Requiem, which once again gives us, if I'm not mistaken, like a 0.45x damage multiplier. Once again, really good. And now with both of these acquired, we are basically maxed out in terms of the fighter section, because we have maxed out this and as well maxed out of these. Now up next on our list of things to max out, we have now maxed out this. I believe it's called, yeah, the species, and we now have the supreme version after not really that many rolls, so you know, that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, by the way, we also did go ahead and max out some other stuff. For example, Dungeon Nightmare achievements. All of these are now maxed out. Let's go, and if I'm not mistaken, I can actually go ahead and prestige. In fact, yes, we can. The new max level cap is going to be 220, we're going to get 3 stat points per level, this is going to be our new XP multiplier, and we're also getting this prestige box, which gives us basically a bunch of potions and stuff. Yeah, there's not really much to it, but hey, we definitely take that little bit extra upgrade. So let's prestige and let's continue grinding. So moving on to the next thing that we can go ahead and max out, I believe we can max out the damage cells. Yeah, we're only 3 levels off, meaning we're going to be getting a 1x damage boost. So let's put on the auto, and yeah, just like that, that is now maxed out. Actually, you know what? I have a good idea, right? A lot of the stuff that still needs to be maxed out does require me, you know, to kind of get much stronger. So what a better way to do that than to do a bunch and a bunch of rank ups, or at least as many as I can possibly do. So let's move on to, I guess, the first rank up, followed by the second rank up. Now, in order to get the next one, it seems like, yeah, we are very outclassed right now. We need to go ahead and get ourselves 100 TVG, which I'm gonna be honest, do we have a chance of getting that within like the next 6 hours at bare minimum? No, probably not. However, what I think is a good idea though is maybe popping on a few energy potions, saving up maybe around 50 TVG maybe, I don't know. It needs to be, I'll let this like, you know, auto energy grind for like maybe 20, 30, 40 minutes, and then from there it will be more of a case of just swapping over to my damage setup, and then I guess maybe trying to grind out the last enemies in the final world, since a lot of this stuff actually does require me to like, you know, take out the enemies. You know, for example, these guys I can take out with relative ease, you know, when I do pop on my damage setup, my damage potion, and have around like 3 TVG. However, the people with the important tokens, for example, oh yeah, by the way, the accessories as well, you know, the Pokita slides, well, yeah, they are much stronger, probably like at least 10 times stronger. So yeah, we do need to get at least 30 TVG if we even want to have a chance at, you know, progressing in this world. Wow, these guys go from TGN all the way up to, how much is this? 4.59 UTG. That is absolutely crazy. Wow. Oh yeah, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, right, the best avatar that you can get in this world is going to be the secret guy found in here, which in this case is going to be the hero of hell, but he has 50.9 QT TG. Yeah, we are nowhere near that strong enough. So yeah, let's quickly save up probably a bunch of energy, and let's go from there, I guess. Hopefully this doesn't take as long as I think it's gonna take. Here's something interesting. It seems like we are actually going to be upgrading 3 separate things in basically one clip. So if I'm not mistaken, yes, we got the Supreme Ghoul Mask, meaning that this bad boy is now maxed out. Then from there, if I'm not mistaken, I do have enough of the tokens in order to go ahead and as well max out the Kagane. So let's see, max level up, and awesome, just like that, we now have a max level Kagane, meaning it's doing the maximum amount of damage. And then to end it all off, heading on over to the Earth City, we can go ahead, as you guys can see down here, we can prestige again. So let's do that, and now all that's left to do is to get one more prestige, I think. Or actually no, we are maxed out right now. It's just, I guess we need to get level 234 when the next one releases. But yeah, now that this is all maxed out, it means we're going to be getting 4 stat points per level, max level cap of 230, and yeah, I guess that means that we can finally start moving on more towards the final world. Alright, so here is some major progression in said final world. As you guys can see, we now have our very first Supreme of the Chainsaw world, the Primal Threat Hunter, giving us 15 times energy. And as well, not only that, we have also done a little bit of progression on some of the other gadgets. For example, here's a Mythical Pokita, here's a Akuma Crossbow, giving me 7x damage, and as well, when it comes to the accessories, I got the Supreme Poketa Slides, giving me 93.7% speed and as well 2.25x energy. Now, with all of this added up, I'm really hoping that I am going to be strong enough to finally be able to start making progression in the rank ups over here. But then again, I don't know, maybe I'll continue focusing on like the Akuma energy and then I'll work on that. Let's see whatever comes first. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, we are done. Now hold up, let me explain what exactly happened. So let's just say some funny things, some cool things, and a lot of stuff happened in the sense that I actually have been kind of clickbaiting you guys. You remember this over here, the admin energy core? Well, yeah, apart from like this morning, so basically like 6 hours ago, this admin energy core did not give 100 times energy. It actually gave plus 100 energy, which at early game, we couldn't tell the difference, you know, because it looked like we were getting 100 times energy. But at end game, it was actually basically doing nothing. So yeah, because of that, since my energy gain was not as broken as I thought it was, I was kind of getting the same amount of energy that a normal player would. Obviously, not exactly the same amount. It was slightly higher because, you know, I do have a bunch of extra equips. But yeah, since I was grinding at the same pace of a normal player, that basically means that if we have a look over here at my time played, yeah, 125 hours. Whatever. It's fine, I don't care. We have 100 times energy. W Joseph for turning it into that, because without it, I don't think I would be as strong as I am right now. Like, quite literally, everything is basically maxed out, right? We have the final world unlocked, you know, the new final world. Tokyo Empire, Special Fire Force, Mushi Bite, whatever. We have like all of the new powers, you know, Adola User, Supreme, Company 8 Supreme. Quite literally, the only thing that I'm missing right now is Phantom Mythical Curse, you know, the new JJK raid in the recent update, and maxed out damage jewelry since they are relatively mid right now. And then as well, not only that, achievements. However, the majority of the achievements are kind of time locked. You know, for example, defeating a certain dungeon 100 times. Literally can't speedrun that. It literally just requires me to just stay in the game for 70 times, once per hour. Yeah, like 75 hours for each raid. However, it doesn't matter, okay? Because let me just show you how strong I am, okay? If we head on over to the final world and head on over to the leaderboard, look over here. This is what top number 2, and for some reason I can't see who top number 1 is. I know top number 1 was a guy called Jaimoon0121. Yeah, he used to be top 1. Maybe, I don't know, he got banned or something and that's why he's not displaying. But yeah, as you guys can see, I have over 10 times the amount of energy of basically top 1, top 2, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, what does that exactly mean? Well, it means that with the power of the admin items, I was able to become the #1 strongest player in the game. Yeah, I can't tell you guys how happy I am. This took so long. But anyways, what does this basically mean for the account? Well, I guess it means that once I go ahead and max out the stuff that I'm still missing, you know, like the damage jewelry and stuff, well, yeah, then I can basically just turn this account into like update showcase account. So like when a new update drops and they add like a brand new world, I can just go ahead and I guess spend that time, I guess just, you know, maxing out everything. So, you know, since I get a bunch of drops, I can get the new items really fast. And since I have like so much more energy, I'll be able to instantly take out all of the enemies. So yeah, this account is mainly just going to be update showcases. Maybe if I get permission from Joseph, I'll do some carry streams or something like that. And yeah, then from there, maybe when I do get like truly maxed out, where, you know, I would have spent like 1,000 hours in the game. So, you know, I have all of the time played achievements and all of the time locked achievements like total dungeon nightmare and whatnot done. Then yeah, I might be able to do some like special video where I go ahead and take out like, you know, the SSS rank boss of the new world. Oh yeah, by the way, for context, because I do have a feeling a lot of you guys are going to be asking this. With a damage setup on, I do approximately like 20 QNTG with a damage potion on, which allows me to take out this SS rank boss in around 13 minutes. However, when it comes to the SSS rank boss right now, yeah, I am not going to be able to take this out even if I AFK'd here for like 3 days straight probably. He has 175 SP TG HP. Yeah, if I remotely want to have a chance of taking this guy out, I need to probably AFK energy grind with all achievements, all the energy stuff maxed out, with admin item for probably like a day or two. And then from there, maybe I stand the chance for taking him out every like 10 minutes to an hour. Or of course, I could just wait for update 15 part 2 to come out, which is going to be on Wednesday. And then probably that's gonna buff damage like by a lot and a lot. Maybe I'll be able to do like 10 times more damage. And then yeah, maybe I'll be able to get this SSS rank avatar, which would make me even more the strongest player in Anime Eternal. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, apart from that though, I really do hope that you guys enjoyed this series. Me personally, I enjoyed this a lot. And all I can really say regarding maybe a future series is that since, as I mentioned, the admin core wasn't doing 100x energy like we all thought it did, it basically means that this whole grind, this whole series could have technically been 100 times faster. So hey, maybe I'll ask Joseph to reset this account, you know, back all the way to complete noob, and then we'll redo this from absolute square one, 0 energy, and see, I guess, if we can beat the game in, you know, I guess 100 times faster time. I mean, how much time did I spend? Like what, 125 hours? I don't know though. Then again, probably a lot of this time was spent like getting jewelry and stuff. So to be fair, I could probably beat the game with the admin stuff, you know, admin core giving 100 times energy at maybe around like 6-7 hours. Something like that. But anyways, if any of that hypes you up, you know, makes you feel really cool, and maybe you want to see more, then yeah, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Feel free to join my Discord server as well, link down below in the description. And yeah, until next time, I'm gonna continue grinding for part 3, update in this case 16, and all of the future updates. Don't worry, this isn't the last time you're going to be seeing this account. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching once again, and have an amazing rest of your day. Peace out, everybody.